How we doing, everyone? Welcome back with another live show on the channel, and it is match review from yesterday's absolute pile of horseshite performance by England yesterday against the USA. I mean, what on earth was that out there yesterday? That was absolutely garbage to watch yesterday. Utter garbage that was from England yesterday. It really was indeed. That was just pathetic. It really was. It was what on earth were we doing in that game yesterday? I just do not know. I really just do not know at all what we were doing in that game yesterday. So, but anyway, guys, if you enjoy this match review, please do hit the thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Of course, if you're new to the channel or if you join the content and you're not yet subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. It really is help growing the channel. Definitely do hit the notification bell as well, because it will let you know whenever I am doing any live shows or whenever there's a video being uploaded to the channel as well. Feel free to donate. We have Super Chat available. And feel free to become a member as well of the channel for just 99p a month as well. Just wait for some comments coming in. But again, just back to the game. It was just a pile of utter crap. It was. We looked clueless yesterday. We don't know what we were doing. The build-up to the game was slow as anything. It really was. All the highs after beating Iran 6-2 in the first game. We in the game against USA, and we perform like that. Lineup, fair enough. I agreed with it. Of course, Gareth Southgate didn't want to change a winning side against Iran. I can totally understand about that. But players, there were some players that should have been took off in that game. They really should have been. Harry Kane is one of them. Slow as anything yesterday. Slow to everything yesterday. He was taken off. He should have been taken off. We left Callum Wilson on the bench throughout the rest of the game. Never brought him on. Southgate never even looked to bring him on as well. Mason Mount, apart from one opportunity, he offered nothing in that game yesterday. Absolutely nothing he offered in that game yesterday for me. Absolutely nothing, as I've just said there. Deary me. Man of the match. Harry Maguire, of all people, it was. Maguire was the best player for us yesterday. He was the best player for us yesterday. Could you believe that? As well. Some other players did all right yesterday as well. I mean, Trivia, there's a lot of criticism going towards him. I mean, he wasn't the worst player for me yesterday. He really wasn't. So the substitutions, I mean, he shouldn't have brought Bellingham off. He should have took Mason Mount on. And one of those players that comes on is Jordan Henderson. I mean, God almighty. Henderson, of all people, brought on. Why not the likes of Foden? See, Southgate never even looked at him yesterday as well. Why? I just don't get it. I really just do not get it from this manager at times. I really don't. My word, if we play like that throughout the rest of this tournament, we may as well pack our bags and just be off home. We may as well be doing that. Because that was just, it was absolute crap yesterday. And the fact is, if we come up like against a top side, like a Brazil, like Spain, etc., we will get absolutely ripped a new one. If we play like that, we will get ripped a new one. No doubt about that. If we face either of those teams, there's no way we beat them. We lose them games. No doubt about that. It really is. And again, I don't get Southgate at times. Not to mention, you can tell by the title of the stream as well. It was like, as I said, Southgate / Bruce Ball. That's what it was like. It was like that at times. Slow build-up. It's too many passing backs sideways a lot of the time as well. Could struggle to get forward a lot of the time as well. It really was. YVC Tablets are seen tonight, mate. Catch you later on. Yes, I'll be doing my live show later on as well. Sean's in the house. I hope you're well, Sean. As well, but do keep your comments coming in, guys, because it'd be great to get your thoughts on what you thought of that absolute horseshit performance from England yesterday. So, but we've got to beat Wales. I mean, we might just have enough. to get through into the knockout stages. But it's gonna for me. It could be either going to be Ecuador or Holland we could be facing. Holland, we don't really do well against them. We really don't do well against Holland a lot of the time. I've got to admit, so yeah, so but David says, who will replace Southgate when he eventually gets the boot? It's a hard one, I've got to admit. I certainly do not want it to be Eddie Howe of all people. I mean, I wouldn't mind a foreign manager, someone like possibly a Bielsa, someone like a Pochettino. A manager would like that, I think, would be good to replace Gareth Southgate, because the way he just went into that game was so negative. We set up with the same formation, which was good, but it's the attitude we went into the game. It was just absolutely rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Sean says, Rafa. Oh, I'm not sure about Rafa now, I've got to admit, to be honest. But yeah. I mean, if again, this manager, if we played that bad in going in against Wales, this manager has to go. He has to go, Gareth Southgate. We've kind of been lucky getting to the semi-final in the last World Cup and into the final in the Euros as well. We've just scraped through it again into those positions as well. Spencer says Southgate made Berhalter look good. Something I didn't even think was possible. Absolutely, he did. I mean, Pulisic had a great opportunity. He was unlucky not to score that. A lot of people say that he's not good enough. I think he's a cracking player, Pulisic. That's a player I wouldn't mind seeing at my club. I really, really wouldn't mind seeing him at my club. I've got to admit, he had a great opportunity as well in that game. He was going to be a massive threat for USA. And there was a warning sign for England in that game as well. Imagine if that went in. Cheers, my word. Even Pickford as well. Absolutely bollocking the players as well. Not tracking back, not closing down the man, let them cut through as well. You could tell he was so annoyed yesterday as well. So, but the players that really, really that were really a massive letdown. I've got to say, Harry Kane was definitely one of them. Look, how slow was he to try and get to every ball? So, and again, Mason Mount, the guy's been off his form for Chelsea this season. He had the one opportunity, but I said the rest of the game, nothing he offered yesterday. Absolute jack shite he offered yesterday throughout the rest of the game. Sterling, I didn't think was that bad. I've got my admit, I don't think he should have been taken off. Replaced him with Grealish, I could understand that. Who tried Grealish at times, but nothing really seemed to come off at all. It was. But I did get Henderson, of all people, had to be brought on. You should have brung Bellingham off. Mason Mount should have been substituted as well. We should have give Callum Wilson come off the bench as well, because Harry Kane was not at it yesterday. He really wasn't. So there you are. David says Kane is slow and plays in a slow Conte team. He has no pressing ability. I agree with that. He doesn't. He's very slow at times to react to Harry Kane, and he's having to drop back so many times as well, when he should be getting right up there, trying to get on the end of things when a ball gets played in the box. And he's not there to be seen half the time as well, which I do not get. Whereas Callum Wilson, he does that. He's up there waiting for a ball to come in the box so he can try and get on the end of things. And I mean, and again, go back to Ford. Why was he left out on the bench yesterday? He should have brung him on. Should have given Foden an opportunity as well. That guy has been so good for Manchester City. One of the best young players in the Premier League as well. He's left on the bench as well. Luckily, Southgate doesn't know what a press is. I don't think he does as well, because you could tell so slow it was. I mean, I think the one opportunity we had in that first half on target was that one from Mason Mount. That was it. That was the one opportunity we had on target in that first half. I mean, I just don't get it at times. I just don't get it. As I mentioned, if that was against Spain or Brazil, God Almighty, what they would have done to us. You're just lucky that was the USA we were playing yesterday, who aren't a great, fantastic side. They've got some good players like Pulisic, for example. But yeah, I mean, it's given a lot of fans I've seen less hope of beating Wales on Tuesday. We have to beat Wales on Tuesday. We really do. I mean, they've had a bad start to the. I mean, they got a point against the USA, okay, but got beat off Iran. Iran showing them how it's done at the end of the game with 10 men. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, keep the comments coming in, guys, because you've got some really interested quotes saying what people are saying. But it's just. Did you see the video of Adam Pearce at that place showing the England game in Newcastle last night? They couldn't get their game on, but they didn't miss much. I seen that as well yesterday. As well, they probably definitely didn't miss much. I think they were probably glad in a way that they barely got anything because the game was that drab yesterday. It was that an utter drab. But yeah, I did see that, and yeah, they're probably thinking, "Thank God we missed a lot of that game." Because it was just a pile of fucking horseshit, which is what we were watching. And yeah, but yeah. But go back to Maguire. He was the only one that did something on that pitch yesterday. Maguire, of all people. You can tell when he plays for England, he's a completely different player. When he plays for his club, he's not at his best. He really isn't. When he's playing for his country, he's something. And he was the only player that was the better out of everyone yesterday for me. So, but yeah. Again, it's just how are we going to win this competition playing like that? There's no way we win this competition playing like that. No chance we win this tournament playing like that. I mean, we just might get through to the knockout stages, but it's who we come up against as well in that knockout stages. And do we take that? You just wonder, do we take that seriously? Because yesterday it was just laughable. It was just absolutely laughable. Everyone on social media saying, "What on earth am I watching here?" And it was just head in your hands, whatever you want to call that, because it was just a pile of crap. Absolute pile of horse crap that was. And where do we go from here? Players booed off the pitch yesterday, rightly so, because it was so poor yesterday. I mean, if you're going to put performances like that, that is what you're going to get off the fans, because that was terrible. I mean, all those fans that have paid so much money to go over there and watch that, and they've seen a performance like that in person as well. I mean, good grief as well. I mean, Patrick says to win the World Cup, you need to take some risks. And Southgate is not a risk taker. It's not in his nature. It's definitely not. You've got to try and take some risks at times. Southgate, he just doesn't do that. For me, he really, really doesn't. Why? And again, it goes back. Why was Foden left on the bench? The same with Callum Wilson as well. We got those on. They could have really changed that game. They could have done. They really could have tried change that game. But no, Southgate, as always, you know what he's like at times with his favourites. as well. Rashford came on. Okay, fair enough. I didn't mind that. Grealish, I didn't mind this coming on. But John Henderson, of all people. And Bellingham was taken. He should have took Bellingham off. Again, he should have took Mason Mount off. And Harry Kane should have been off as well. Not to mention there was still we had another 2 substitutes left, which we could have used as well. And Southgate doesn't even bother with them. Oh. I mean, just seeing the latest scores. Poland have beaten Saudi Arabia 2-0. Lewandowski scores his first goal in the World Cup, I believe, in Australia. Beat Tunisia 1-0 as well. So, there you are. But the guys, let me know, where do England go from here? We've got one game left in this group stages away against Wales. But are we confident of getting anything from that? If we're going to go into a game with an attitude like that, like we did yesterday, I don't know. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of fans will say they're wishing the Premier League was back on already. They're wishing the Premier League was back on already, i.e., Newcastle United fans, Arsenal fans, I've seen them as well, wishing the Premier League was back already as well. Oh, yeah. But again, guys, if you are enjoying, please do hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button as well if you're new, and please hit the notification bell as well to be notified of any live shows as well. So, but please keep the comments coming in, guys. As well. I mean, so many fans disgusted with that performance yesterday. Absolutely disgusted it was. But yeah. Fans already on Southgate's back again. And can you blame them? No, you can't. You just can't at all. Because if he's telling those players to go out and perform like that, how does this just progress in this tournament? I mean, yeah. Archer's in the house. England, no energy. So frustrating against the USA. I don't know where England favoured Waterboy was in Mr. Sinclair, but we need to beat against Wales. But Southgate needs to make a few changes. I agree. He does need to make a few changes. I would like to see Wilson start for starters. I think we should take Harry Kane out because he was so slow yesterday. We should look to give Foden a chance as well, definitely. No, he could have changed the game for me yesterday as well. So those two players I want to see in that lineup on Tuesday against Wales. I want to see Wilson start and I want to see Foden starting as well. That's probably two of the changes I would make. But let me know, as always in the live chat as well, what changes would you make as well for the game against Wales on Tuesday? I think the rest of it is okay. So, yeah, so Wilson, I would like to see come in for Kane, and I think we should look to get Foden in for possibly Mount as well. But yeah. So let me know, guys, of the changes you would make against Wales on Tuesday, because I think we need to see some as well. Because that game was just mind-boggling yesterday. It really was. Absolute mind-boggling. And it gives fans less hope that we're going to progress in this tournament. And again, less hope that we're going to beat Wales on Tuesday night. I mean, the last time we played Wales in a competition was back in the Euros. We only just scraped past them. It took right until the end of the game for us to win that one. But yeah. And again, Gareth Bale will be up for this. No doubt about that, he will be as well. I mean, if we are not on our game and he cuts through us like that, God Almighty, I dread to think what will happen as well. Because that was yesterday was a perfect opportunity to get ourselves another win, definitely guarantee us in the knockout stages. But no, we go into a game like that yesterday and play like that. I was told that Bruno's man wore a Toon shirt of the Brazil game. Respect, yeah, I heard about that as well. The fact is, Bruno never came off the bench against Brazil against Serbia, which I was very, very surprised with. Which I think he should have done, but he didn't. So Archer says Phil Foden, Wilson, Nick Pope plus Rashford should come in. Yeah, Foden, Wilson for me. Pope, he could do. I don't think Pickford's really put a foot wrong, I've got to admit. Rashford, possibly yes. I mean, it took him about a minute just for him to score against Iran on Monday. So he could do. But two of those, yes, Wilson, Foden and Wilson definitely for me should come in yesterday for Tuesday. But we'll wait and see, I suppose. But if Southgate persists with this negative attitude at the Wales game, then he has to be gone. He has to be gone. Because we will just become unstuck. And we'll not get very far in this tournament as well. A lot of people said the last 16 or the quarterfinals we'll get, and that'll be it after that. I mean, yeah. Henderson, too many back passes. Yes, I seen that yesterday as well from Henderson. I mean, why did he have to come on? I don't get it. Why and why take Bellingham off of all players as well? Should have been Mount, someone like that, and Henderson should have been coming on. I've got to admit, I think his time in international football's finished as well. Absolutely. Foxy, hope you well. Poor result, but the bigger picture is still in a good position to qualify to knockout stages. Also, teams that win 3 group games generally don't win the tournament. That is true in a way, but it is a good position. Still in a good position. You can agree with that, but it's the attitude. It's how we now perform throughout the rest of this tournament, which is what you've got to look at as well. Because there's no way. There's no way we win this tournament playing like that. Absolutely not. So, but yeah. Again, keep the comments coming in because there's been some really good ones we've had so far on this show as well. And of course, I will be back again at 8:00 tonight with the usual Paydays Football Live show. So it'd be great to get yourselves on and have your say as well about that absolute pile of garbage yesterday against USA. I mean, is Southgate's time up at England? It could well be very soon. Archer says if we make the last 16, then we'll be up against Holland or Senegal or Ecuador. Absolutely. There's no way Qatar are going to be going through, but one of those teams we could be facing. I mean, Holland, I said, we don't do very well normally against Holland at times. Senegal, when was the last time we played them? I can't remember off the top of my head. Ecuador as well. I've had a really good, decent start at the tournament. And I mean, look at the way how they showed Qatar how it was done pretty much, even though that was a poor game to watch. But Ecuador are going to be no mugs as well. And certainly Holland won't be as well. Who do you see winning tonight? Argentina or Mexico? That's a hard one. I think Mexico could really grab something out of that game. I mean, if Argentina can't beat Saudi Arabia, who are they going to beat with the likes of Messi, the likes of Di Maria, and other players like them? Because look how they let that slip completely against the USA. Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia, which was really poor. I think you would have to be foolish to rule them out, still winning it. Argentina lost to Cameroon 99 and made the final. So, yeah, that is true, actually. So yeah, I wouldn't maybe not write Argentina completely off just yet straight away, but that's a good point that Fox you've just made there. So but yeah. But for England, yeah, the question is where do we go from there? Because that was just an embarrassment yesterday. I'm sick of this negative attitude going into a tournament like that. In a tournament like that, I'm sick of it. It was like Scotland last year with the 0-0 draw as well. It was like that. It was like that. Honestly, it really was like that. So yeah. But if we persist with like this, as I just mentioned, we may as well just be packed our bags and just head back home. Because how do we win a competition playing and performing like that? The start against Iran, winning 6-2, putting 6 past them, to go into the USA game with the same lineup and play like that. Even Musical says, why isn't Wilson getting game time? I know. He should have come on yesterday because Kane was not at it yesterday and he's completely left on the bench. He completely left on the bench as well. So Ecuador take us to penalties if we play them in knockout. Ideally, we would want to play Holland, who can nick a goal in games with players like Gakpo, but overall bang average. Yeah, I mean, that Gakpo is not a bad player, Holland, but I mentioned we don't do well against Holland normally. We really, really don't. I think we've lost the last 2 games against them. I mean, I think the UEFA Nations tournament back in 2019, we lost 3-1 to them. And I think back in 2016, we lost it against them as well. So, well, and Musical Magpie says, why isn't Foden playing? Exactly. I just don't get it. This is one of the best young players I've seen particularly in the Premier League. And he's not even getting a look in yesterday. And Carlos says, I feel sorry for the fans who paid all that money to go to the World Cup to watch that crap. Absolutely. They spent so much money going there, and they saw a rotten performance like that from England yesterday. Even Shearer said, why didn't Foden come on? It was absolutely poor from England yesterday. Again, and as I mentioned, I just do not get this manager at all, Southgate. Why we are persistent with this rotten negative attitude in a tournament, I just do not know. I mean, if we head out the competition early stages, again, he has to be gone. Or if we do like that against Wales, he has to be gone as well. Because we'll just come unstuck in the knockout stages completely. We really will be. But, yeah. So, but, yeah. But again, guys, if you're enjoying, please do hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button as well, and please hit the notification bell as well if as well on the to be help make this channel really, really grow as well. And yeah, I mean, what do you think is going to happen in the next game against Wales? What do we do to turn this round? What do we do to turn this around completely? Because something needs to change. The attitude for starters is one of them. Players should be taken out. I want to see some players in there given an opportunity. What do you think needs to happen, guys? Because some of those players yesterday were just absolutely all over the place. They really were. Also, Pickford needs to stop launching the ball out with player near the halfway line. Yeah, I agree with that. I've seen him do that quite a lot of times yesterday as well. He needs to stop doing that as well. Because that is his downside as well, Pickford as well. But I thought yesterday's distribution was fine. I thought he knew when to get the ball when he needed to. So as well. Anyone see the video of Mexican fans hiding vodka in binoculars trying to sneak into the stadium? No, I've not seen that actually. So I've not seen that. Is it goal difference if Wales win a win and USA win? Possibly. I mean, our goal difference is it will be 4 because we've scored 6, but we also conceded 2 against Iran as well. So there you are. So it could well be, yes. I think we'll get through to the group stages, but it's how we are going to do that in the rest of that tournament, because we will become unstuck if we keep persisting with this negative attitude. I believe it is goal difference rather than head-to-head record. Yeah, I believe it is as well. So there. But I'm just waiting for some more comments there coming in, guys, as well. So there you are. But keep those coming in, guys, because it's been great getting your thoughts on what you thought of that absolute dismal performance yesterday. Just absolutely shocking. So bad, just so hard to watch. Yeah. I mean, not a bunch of people spending their Friday night to watch that as well, and thinking as well, we could have done something. We could have done something a lot better than watch that rubbish yesterday as well. But well, I mean, I wish the Premier League was back as well. I wish the Premier League was back already, in a way, because I'm sick of watching my country just being so negative in a football match like that. And I just, and where do we go? Just where do we go from there? That's the thing. I mean, I'm even going to watch the Newcastle women tomorrow, as well, and I can guarantee that is going to be a lot more better than watching that pile of rubbish yesterday. I can guarantee that's going to be a hell of a lot better than that pile of rubbish yesterday. But if any of you are going to the women's Newcastle game tomorrow, that's great as well. Come and support the lasses tomorrow in their FA Cup game as well against Barnsley. So yeah, true. Pierre lost a Friday night to watch that crap. Absolutely, Carlos. A lot of fans lost a Friday night just to watch that. And it's just, yeah, we could have. They're going to be saying we could have done something a lot more worthy than watch that. But yeah. Yeah, just waiting for a comment. Looks like Foxy's just coming in with a comment, so I'll just get that up in a moment as well. I just have yesterday as a bad day at the office. I think us English fans overreact sometimes with results. It was poor, but we didn't lose, didn't concede. A few days ago, we had a great performance against Iran. Absolutely, as well, Foxy, as well. I mean, some of our fans are overreacting at times, thinking we are. I mean, I was optimistic we were going to beat USA as well after coming off that 6-2 win, but no. But just watching that game, I'm thinking this is going to have nil. This is going to have 0-0 draw, written all over it, or we might just scrape a 1-0 win, or we could end up losing the game by a goal to nil as well. So. Here you are. Rich from the Over and Over Arsenal channel. Good evening. Hope you're well, buddy. He says, I'm at the women's game tomorrow. So James is a nice one, Rich. Hopefully we'll see you there. I mean, normally we like to hang around the club shop just before kickoff. So if you want to come and see us there, feel free to come in there, see us and say hello to us. That'd be great to see you tomorrow, Rich. So that's good. He's going to the women's game tomorrow. 20,000 odd allocated as well, I believe. So that's fantastic. It really, really is. Definitely. As well. So, but yeah, as I mentioned, Rich, feel free to come and see us tomorrow. We'll be round about the club shop, usually just before kick-off. So, yeah, that's where we'll be. Normally hanging around, and same as after the game as well. We'll usually like to hang around there as well, just to let the crowds die down a little bit as well. So, yeah, it'll be great. Just And Rich says, yeah, I'll pop over and say hello. Nice one, Rich. As well, because I think there is going to be a few of us going to that game tomorrow. Definitely. There's going to be a few of us definitely there tomorrow, which is good. So there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that game tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that game tomorrow. And as I mentioned, I guarantee it's going to be better than that absolute rubbish yesterday. I'll watch. Rich, get your comments on what you thought of that England performance yesterday as well. So, Foxy says, I think because we battered Iran, everyone has an opinion that they are poor. But I haven't watched many teams totally dominate Wales like they did yesterday. I think Iran get at least a draw of the USA. I agree with that as well. I mean, Iran, I know we wiped them, but look at the way they took that game to Wales, and they've got an opportunity of doing that against the USA as well. So it's going to be interesting. A team who are no mugs in this tournament as well, just because we beat them. Look at the way they turned it over. Look at the way they done it against Wales, and they've got an opportunity of doing that against the USA as well. Asmon starting with Taremi up top are dangerous for a lot of nations. Absolutely, yep. Absolutely. Patrick says the media keeps saying Southgate is our most successful manager since '66, but Bobby took us to the World Cup semi-final and quarter in '86. I mean, why are they saying that as well? We've just kind of scraped through into the final and the semi-final. In a way, we have as well. I mean, let's go back. I mean, Denmark just scraped to that. I had to go to extra time for that one. Let's look at the World Cup in 2018 as well. I mean, let's look at that. Let's start from the beginning. Tunisia just scraped through against them. Panama, yeah, we beat them 6-1. We got beat off Belgium, but we made a lot of changes in that game as well. But Colombia, we had to go to penalties to go through against them. Sweden, we did well to knock them out as well. But it's when we got to that semi-final against Croatia where we took the lead, but we sat back after that, and look what happened. So that was the problem. It was a Southgate masterclass last night, says Rich. Why are we surprised? Yeah, absolutely. None of us are surprised at all because it was a Southgate masterclass last night. Well, I said Southgate / Bruce Ball because that's what it was yesterday. That's what it felt like watching a lot of the time. I think Southgate goes at the end of this tournament, regardless how we do. It's obvious that we should be getting much more out of players we had, absolutely. And he just isn't getting it. I mean, Kane, as I mentioned yesterday, Mason Mount was another one yesterday as well. And we just could not get a tune out of yesterday. We really couldn't get a tune out of them at all. We just really, really couldn't. So there you are. Gonna just got just over 20 minutes of this show, guys. So do keep your comments coming in as always, and of course, please do hit the thumbs up. Of course, please hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, or if you join the content and you're not yet subscribed. Please do hit that subscribe button because it really, really does help grow the channel as well. And the subscribers have been starting to go up as well. So really, really thank you so much for that, definitely. And please do hit that notification bell as well, because it will let you know whenever I am live or when there's a video being uploaded to the channel as well. So you will be notified as well. You can feel free to donate. We do have a super chat available. And of course, feel free to become a member of the channel as well for just 99p a month as well. So feel free to do so as well. I'm just waiting for some more comments coming in, guys. But your comments have really been interesting coming in today about yesterday's game, because we look clueless, absolutely clueless, and we look lost as well. I mean, as I mentioned, coming off the win of a 6-2 win, and we go into a game and just perform like that as well. And where I'm up to with me comment. Oh, I've just missed a one from that one. Come on, pick a manager for England. I have no idea. Maybe a Graham Potter if he gets sacked. I wouldn't mind someone like a Pochettino or a Bielsa. I wouldn't mind a manager like that. Myself. I've just read that one there. Patrick's go for Sean Dyche. I'm not too sure about Sean Dyche as well. Me, I think that might be a bit too big from if he was to take the role as England manager. I don't think he's ready for international to become manager of international football as well at the moment. And please, no one come out on here and say Steve Bruce. Please do not come out and say Steve Bruce for next England manager if Southgate goes, because if that does happen, I will feel like completely giving up watching international football altogether, which I don't think he will. But if anyone says Steve Bruce, oh God, please don't. Oh Jesus, what? My choice has been the same for the last 6-7 years. Some laughed, some still will, some will probably agree. But for me, Bielsa all day. I wouldn't mind Bielsa. He plays attacking football for me. So I wouldn't mind someone like him as well. England manager has to be English. That's fair enough, Rich. Sorry, people. Eddie Howe for me. Oh, I hope it's. I don't think Eddie Howe's going to be going to England at any time soon at the moment, Rich, because he's really happy on what we're doing at the moment, and that's what he's focusing on the most as well. Why didn't Foden or Wilson come on? Kane was in our half most of the game. He was. Wilson should have definitely come on in that second half. Should have took Harry Kane off as well, because he was so slow, and he just pretty much offered nothing as well. I think Southgate knows it's his last tournament. We would have think he'd be going out all for wins instead of laying down against average oppositions. Absolutely as well. Yep. Totally agree. Because again, I just don't know why we persist with this negative attitude into a tournament of all places. This is why. Well, I've just read this is something Southgate on why he didn't bring on Phil Foden in the game yesterday. So I am actually going to read this out as well. He said, Southgate on Foden. We didn't feel it was right for Phil in the middle because he doesn't play there for his club. I mean, what kind of a quote is that? Because he plays out on the left. I mean, how weird, man. Jesus, if that's what he's coming out and saying, my word. How do you know it's not going to work? How do you feel like it's not going to be right? Well, you haven't. Just give it a try and see what it does. I mean, for God and hell, man. He could have at least tried it and see what could happen, because I think he would have changed that game yesterday. I just don't know. Or why not bring Rashford on, or bring Foden and play him on the right? That's another one we could have done. Foxy says, I don't agree that it has to be English. For one, we don't have enough talented English managers. People will struggle naming after Howard Potter. If you are good enough, that's good enough for me. Yeah, absolutely. There's not a lot of high-rated English managers now, from the likes of Eddie Howe and Graham Potter. There's not a lot of them, I've got to admit now. So there you are. Patrick says, Foden rotates across the front two for City. They all do. Pep demands it. Absolutely, he does. He rotates across the front two for City. So there you are. Agree, Foxy, someone with a passion for the game. Yeah, absolutely. As well. But I mean, that comment I've just read was from Brian. And he just showed me about why Phil Foden. Well, why is he not come? He could have. Why is he not saying why he's not saying something about why Callum Wilson didn't come on as well? I mean, this manager, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Yeah. So, about 15 minutes left, guys. I mean, keep the comments there coming in. But yeah. David says Southgate had everyone on side until he got extremely politically. It was downhill since then. Eddie Howe is so good when quizzed on politics. I'm just the coach. I don't get involved. Perfect answer. Absolutely. He shouldn't have got Southgate shouldn't have done that. He should just focus on what he's doing with that side rather than pay attention to all the politics stuff and all that. Foxy says, as someone with passion, a clear identity of playing able to make changes in the game, Southgate doesn't have any of that. We lost semi-finals and finals because of his poor in-game management. Absolutely, that's why we didn't win those games. Why we didn't progress to the final in the 2018 World Cup, and why we lost out on the final in a penalty shootout. That's why we didn't win that game, because we didn't build on that. We didn't build. We didn't build on that as well. Hoping for Wales to be England, says Tunza. I mean, God Almighty, if that does happen, God Almighty, I dread to think what happens now throughout the rest of the tournament. Because when you just think, if we can't beat Wales, who do we beat throughout the rest of the tournament? Walgate, yeah, that's if we go through. If he doesn't play Trent Alexander-Arnold because he doesn't defend, why play Kane as a central defensive midfielder for large parts of the game? That's where Kane was around there a lot of the time, as well. So, but Southgate, he's got to make some changes for Tuesday night. He really, really has to. Unless he's indeed Foxy threw away any good, will when he bottled big games. Absolutely. And Southgate's done far too many of that. Bottle it in big games when we've needed to win. That's the thing. And we just haven't done that at all. So we got one from Archer. He says, the team I want to see is Pope, Trippier, Stones, Cordy, Shaw, Rice, Jude, Foden, Saka, Rashford, and Wilson. Not bad. I mean, I've got to say, I wouldn't mind keeping Maguire in. I thought he was the best player for England yesterday. But if that's the team you want to see, then fair enough. Okay. I mean, Foden for me, yes. Jude, you got to keep him in there as well. And I want to see Wilson getting a chance as well. So, also, over 600 players registered in Premier League. Not one has come out as gay. Cade should sort out his own league before criticising others. Yeah, absolutely, he should. He should be as well. So, there you are. As well. Just got over 10 minutes left of the show, guys. So, keep your comments coming in as well, because your comments have been really, really good. And from what you have had to say from yesterday's absolute game and how we are going to go in this game against Wales on Tuesday night, because it's not going to be looking as pretty as what we all thought it would be. Yes, we might win and we'll get to the knockout stages, but it's what we do in that rest of the tournament, who we come up against, how we go into it, and how we perform on that pitch. Because again, if we perform like that like we did yesterday, it doesn't matter who we will play in the knockout stages, we will become unstuck. And it has happened a lot of the time as well, definitely as well. And also under previous managers as well, like Hodgson. What happened against Iceland of all teams as well? There you are. The 2014 World Cup, we didn't even get out the solid group stages in that one as well. Even Foxy says, I will give Southgate some credit with stabilising the group after Hodgson's terrible work. Seems to have brought all the players together rather than the past of it being very separated. Yeah, I agree with that. He has brought some stability, Southgate, after the absolute mess Roy Hodgson did with the England previously as well. So, but for the talent we have now, we need a manager that knows how to get the best out of them. Yeah, absolutely. Because Southgate just doesn't do that at times for me. He just really, really doesn't. Even Rich says Italy didn't win a group game in '82 and won the tournament. Yes, they did. Yes, absolutely. So, well, they could win a game, not win a game, and still win the tournament. Absolutely. But yeah. So, yeah. But I'm going to say, guys, for the Wales game, I will be doing a watch along finally for this game on Tuesday night. So we'll probably start round about 6:30, and because the game kicks off at 7. So Toonsa says icing on the cake would be for Wales to win 4-0 England out. Haha, says Toonsa. Yeah, but hopefully that doesn't happen. But if that does happen, that'll be bye-bye for England, no doubt about that. Too many yes men in the FA. Southgate has a shield around him. I'm glad Simon Jordan always calls him out on TalkSport. Fair play to him for that. Absolutely. And he should be called out for things like that. He really, really could be called on things like that, Gareth Southgate. Because all the underruns are wondering thing is just saying, well, what we're doing. What on earth are we doing? How are we going to win this competition as well? Where does our next win come from? Things like that as well. So there you are. Wales have nothing to lose against England. They have to win. Dangerous situation for Southgate. God, if we don't win against Wales, I dread to think what is going to happen. I really do. Spain lost first group game in the World Cup 2010 versus Switzerland and went on to win it. Absolutely, they certainly did. But then Italy in '82 didn't have Southgate as manager. No, they didn't. They certainly didn't. Hi, how's you doing from Kate and Jonathan? Army, England, GB were crap last night. We want the Premier League back as soon as possible, Pierre. Absolutely, we'll want the Premier League back as soon as possible. Because that was just absolute horseshit yesterday. Does that mean Pierre? That's not, I knew what you meant there, Kate. Sorry. But yeah. A lot of us fans want the Premier League back because we still don't get why the World Cup had a clash with the current football season that it did. Yeah. I mean, we would be going to the game still during this time of the month as well. Going to watch our teams on a weekend or whenever they're playing. Not normally watching a World Cup taking place in the middle of a season as well. So there you are. But yeah. Just over 5 minutes left to go now, guys. So we'll keep those comments there coming in throughout the rest as well. Definitely, because your comments have been really, really good tonight. There's been some really, really interesting comments that have come in, some really good facts and points that have been pointed out from you today as well. So Kate says Bruno's not had a game as yet, Peter. No, he hasn't. He's not. I'm very surprised he's not. He didn't come off the bench against Brazil, against Serbia. I'm really surprised he did not come off the bench as well. So I don't know why. Do you really honestly think England can win the World Cup? No, absolutely not. We're not winning this World Cup, and certainly not playing like that. We are winning this World Cup. Absolutely no chance we are winning this World Cup at all, particularly playing like that. Don't understand why England can't play with the same intensity as the Premier League. Yeah, absolutely, as well. Is that a good thing for us, Peter? You could say it away because it stops him. Hopefully, he doesn't pick up an injury. As well, but you think the Brazilian manager would have looked at how Bruno has been playing for us, and he could have at least used him in a way in the first game as well. But maybe in a way didn't. I mean, Brazil had enough to beat Serbia as well. I mean, 2 goals from Richarlison, but particularly the second goal from Richarlison as well was an absolute corker of a goal. And what a bicycle kick that was. He scored for that second goal for Brazil. And Brazil should have had more after that as well, because I didn't think Serbia offered anything against them at all. They really, really didn't turn up in that game, I thought. So, There you go. Anyways, about 5 minutes left of the show, guys. So keep the comments there coming in, guys, as well, because there's some really good, interesting comments that have really come out tonight as well. So there you are. But as always, guys, let me know what happens in the final game of the group stage against Wales on Tuesday. Do we change it around? Do we sort ourselves out and hopefully look to perform a lot more better? Or do you think Southgate is just going to persist with his rotten attitude? So let me know as always, guys. But again, it'd be great to get some thoughts on tonight for my live show at 8 o'clock for PD's Football Live Show, because no doubt we'll have quite a few on tonight. No doubt about that by the looks of it as well. So there you want Foxy says England nowhere near the best team in the World Cup, but can they win it? Of course, though. Best team doesn't always win it. They can, but it's how we perform in the tournament as well. And yeah, France are doing well in this World Cup. Yes, they are. I mean, 4-1 against Australia in the first game as well. I mean, Giroud playing very well. Mbappe, well, does what he does, doesn't he, as well? So doing well without Benzema at the moment, because France has some really good players in their side as well. So, so there you are as well. So there we go. But anyways, last few minutes of the show, guys. So there you are. But let us know again what do we need to do to change it against Wales? Because there's a few things we need to change. We need to drop some of those players, and we need to scrap this negativity completely from this absolute clueless manager, because he really is clueless at times. He really, really is. I mean, what he came out and said about the Ford situation, I mean, was absolutely rubbish. Absolute crap that was. Could have given an opportunity, and he just didn't. So, hey ho. But what can we do about that now? That game's gone now. We have to focus on the next game on Tuesday against Wales. But we need to change things up. We really need to change things up, because we will become unstuck, and Gareth Bale will be licking his lips as well, in a way, if we do not change something into this next game at all as well. Because, good rest for the boys out in Qatar. Well, not so much for trips. Could have done with the lads not getting game. Go to Saudi, keep match fit. Yeah, I mean, I go back. I didn't think Kieran Trippier put a foot wrong, but I think Wilson should have, as I mentioned, he should have come on. He should have took Kane off as well, who just didn't do anything at all for me really yesterday. I think it will be France versus Spain, World Cup final, says Kate. Yeah, it could well be Spain. I mean, look at the way they absolutely took Costa Rica to the cleaners in their game as well. France showing how it's doing against team at sometimes as well. And Foxy says, did Portugal go the whole Euros in 2016 without winning a game in 90 minutes and still lift the trophy? Yep, absolutely they did. And they certainly did that as well. And right, this is another one. David Knight says, I'm not sure why the fans are booing. He always says this. The guy is an absolute clown. Well, of course they're booing, because it was an absolute crap performance. That's why the fans are booing, for crying out loud. For fuck's sake, man. Of course, if the fans are not happy with the performance, they're gonna say something about it. They're gonna show their feelings towards that poor performance, i.e., booing yesterday, because that performance was not acceptable at all. And Southgate comes up. I mean, the bloke isn't. This manager is absolutely out of his depth. If he's coming out with saying things like that, he really is out of his depth. Of course, the fans are going to boo if they're watching a team that is playing rubbish with a rotten attitude like that in a tournament of all, in the World Cup of all their competitions. I mean, Jesus, wet man. This has got to be the end for Gareth Southgate after this tournament. It's got to be. It really, really has to be. How long we go for in the cup as well. So, And Kate says, when are we going the FA Cup here, Newcastle? I mean, the draws take place on Monday, I believe, and we will start our World Cup round about January time. So that's when we will start about that. So the draw on Monday, and then Newcastle will start their FA Cup campaign in January. So there you are. Well, that is it for today's match review, guys. Again, I will be back at 8 o'clock tonight for PD's Football Live Show. Get yourselves on. We'll definitely talk about that game yesterday as well, along with other football related things on tonight's show as well. Of course, we'll have the good old food pictures where we have an hour as well, and any club comments or lookalikes, get them in for tonight's show, because I'm sure it'll be a blast and a laugh on tonight's show, definitely as well. But if you have enjoyed, guys, please, of course, do hit the thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button, of course, if you're new to the channel, or if you join the content and you're not yet subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button, because it really, really has helped grow the channel as well. Hit that notification bell as well, because it will let you know of any live shows or any videos that have been uploaded to the channel as well, to make you all notified as well. You can still donate as well, and feel free to become a member as well of the channel as well. So, thanks, PDs. See ya. January's when Newcastle get the FA Cup game. England fans boo because they are seeing England are going to win the World Cup, but cannot beat USA. That's why they're booing. Absolutely, yep, absolutely. So there you are. Anyway, guys, I shall catch you all at 8 o'clock tonight for PD's Football Live Show. So catch you in a while, guys. See you later on. Take care.